Okay, well, I'm on the clock, so I guess that means I got to get going. Good morning. My name is Kevin Baird. I am the chairman of the board and the CEO at Collaborative Learning. I am probably the oldest and least sexy guy you're going to see here as we talk about innovation and sizzle. We're very old school. I'm pleased to present to you our offering, Seamless. We're a leader in building capacity for schools and districts. We participate in the leading brand for implementing Common Core standards. It's called Common Core Black Belt Certification, graduate training provided with the University of Southern California, Rossier. CC Studio is software then. It allows teachers and schools to build standards-aligned curriculum to the Common Core and make sense of those standards. Also, not just the Common Core. Catholic identity standards, if you are in the state of Texas, the Texas standards, whatever that may be. Print materials, cheap, but for every teacher. Because remember, college and career readiness reform is the single largest reform ever in American schools. Every single teacher has to have something simple to help them move. And then, free resources like Corepedia, the only free resource with the deconstruction of the Common Core standards. This is an example of the software. It's a very simple platform, but very powerful. Using our intellectual property, we are the holders of the deconstructed standards. We lead teachers through very specific questions to understand how to apply what it is they're trying to do. With the deconstruction, we now sell the deconstructed standards on a B2B model to other publishers who want to help their customers understand how you actually achieve college and career readiness. We've been the leading software platform for writing aligned curriculum and aligned lesson plans since 1999. We have a software as a service model. Like I said, we're very old school, but we are the experts in understanding how to actually use standards. We've been that for more than a decade. Since 2010, HCP Capital has been our private equity partner. We invested in product and sales for accelerated growth, which we expected in 2012, and we saw it, but we began by building out the team. Again, you might call them old. I'd call them experienced. They built the sales team at Renaissance Learning. They built the marketing team over at Leapfrog Schoolhouse, coming from the National Science Foundation. They built professional development at Pearson. Chicago Public Schools purchasing. We know schools. We know how to sell to schools, and we know our customer. And employee number one, so I guess we're a pretty good place to work. We built out the team, so today we're in a place because we have engineers in India, because we have lower cost per diems. We can scale while preserving EBITDA. We build value the old-fashioned way. We make money. What are the drivers inside of the market? You know what these drivers are. Sure, we have Common Core standards just beginning. Just wait for those new test results in 2015. You're going to have a lot of folks knocking down the door. Common Core assessment, but also teacher and principal evaluation. Our solutions help them get a smiley face on the Marzano or the Danielson rubric. You have university certification. Every teacher program, every teacher certification program in the US is going to undergo recertification. We're a generator. We're behind that. Public and private competition. Our private schools, and we have about 40% of our market is in private schools because they have to do better. They're now under the gun. Everyone thinking about how we spend our money more effectively for sustainability. We actually consult with some of the biggest districts in the United States on what products to buy, because everyone is interested in sustainable change. Who do we help? The Bureau of Indian Education nationwide. Florida, whoops, whoa. Can we bring it back? Hello. Oh my. There we go. Thank you very much. Ha ha. Florida, statewide, some of the largest districts and district-wide, just trained all the school board members in the state of Florida. Indiana, statewide and district-wide. Ohio, Broward County, Clark County, you name it. The demand because of the value we create is so large, in the first 6 weeks of 2013, 1,000 principals raised their hand and said, we want to be a part of the Black Belt certification program in some way. We also work internationally, the government of Bermuda, Guam, the Dominican Republic. Our partners, we keep pretty good company. Council of Chief State School Officers. They built the Common Core standards. We're the only commercial enterprise that actually embeds what they do at the Survey of Enacted Curriculum inside of our software. Metametrics, the South Carolina Association of School Administrators, and now, not even launched publicly out in your newspapers, Office Depot. Office Depot doing a national rollout for college and career readiness. We are their exclusive service provider. Now, many companies, as you know, would spend big bucks to be partners with these people. They pay me money. and they resell my products. They came and knocked on my door. So what's our vision? What are we doing? We're moving now, we're moving fast. This market in Common Core alone is between $5 billion and $12 billion, and that's just the start. We've got 30 states coming on with the new teacher and leader eval systems. Actually, I heard this morning it's more like 40. January 2013, we just have those new certification standards coming out in the universities. And the new science standards. Just last week, the new science standards are out. We'll have the only commercial deconstruction of those standards, i.e. how do you use them, hits the market in 6 weeks. We build very simple platforms, and we've done it for a decade for very big populations. A reminder, this is the second largest market in the world after healthcare at $4.5 trillion. But just here in the little old United States, more than 500,000 teachers, new teachers every year that we have to train. We own the leadership in the district, then we go to the building, and then we implement our tools. It's easy to get started. About $1,500 a school, $3,000 a district. End of the day, about $5,000 a school, $30,000 a district. We work with more than 30% of America's districts, but only 6% of their schools. We're embedded at their top. We own their head. Now we're moving deeper to own the school. And it's driving some pretty interesting numbers. Again, we're not really sexy, but we're old school. We're driving value. Orders up 228% year over year. Revenues up 52% year over year. Margins at 41% growth. EBITDA, 370% growth. Our gross margins remain at 77% of net revenues, and our renewal rates for solution customers at 95%. That's N number of customers. The actual dollars are north of 100% because our customers expand. Last year we grew about 45%. This year we'll grow about 65% in terms of revenues. But my friends, the chart that we really have to pay attention to is this. Because only 1/4 of America's kids meet all 4 college and career readiness benchmarks. When that number reaches 100, my market is done. We're going to be creating value for a good long while. So I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite examples of what we really do, what school is really like. Your kids right now, if they're in high school, your teachers are teaching to this kind of prompt. On Monday, Lisa's fishbowl contained 1 gallon of water. On Friday, the fishbowl contained 0.75 gallons of water. By what percentage did the amount of water in Lisa's fishbowl decrease? Who cares? You just put more water in the fishbowl. College and career readiness demands that the student can look at this and say, I have a 6x6 piece of metal. I'm going to cut out the corners. I'm going to fold up the sides. I'm going to weld them together. I'm going to make some kind of tank. Here's what I have to do. I have to sketch a graph. I have to explain the shape of the graph by writing an essay. I have to write the formula and tell me how am I going to maximize the volume. How do I get my students from here to here? I can tell you. The single most important word right there in that item is the word graph. But the single most important 2 words in the answer, Office Depot. Go and get a graphing calculator and participate in black belt training to ensure your teachers know to use graphing calculators, because that's the answer and that's the failure in the school. Collaborative Learning, CC Studio. We're very old school. We create value by creating sustainability. The sizzle, it's in the numbers. Thank you very much.